Hello, smart travelers and adventurers. Hi, I'm Simon from Travel Guide Official, and today we are going on an interesting journey where adventure meets affordability. In this episode, we will explore the realm of cheap travel and discover places where every dollar/euro/yen counts. Whether you are a student backpacker, family travelers on budget, or just someone looking for value-added traveling experiences, this episode is designed specifically to meet your needs. We will focus on hidden treasures where you can stretch your dollars without sacrificing the thrill of travel. These locations range from the beautiful beaches of Central America to Eastern Europe's ancient stone-paved streets and Southeast Asia's bustling markets, all providing a rich cultural experience, stunning scenery, and exciting adventures without breaking your bank account. Pack your bags, get a pen and paper ready for some serious tips on travel, then let's embark together. It may come as a surprise how much one can achieve with just a little bit. If you enjoy exploring new destinations and traveling without spending fortunes, then you have come to the right place. So, let's explore our list of best places to travel on a budget in 2024. And don't forget to subscribe and become part of the Travel Guide official community for more travel insights. Immerse on the mystique of Southeast Asia. Start with Thailand, featuring its colorfully dynamic streets markets, the peace and tranquility offered by temples therein to lively nights that you can enjoy without having to break your bank account. Talk about the cost of hostel to guest house rates. Relocate to Vietnam, focus on the cultural diversity represented by cities such as Hanoi and natural resources like Ha Long Bay. Provide guidelines for consuming genuine Vietnamese food without spending much on it. Conclusion with information on Cambodia, including the splendid Angkor Wat and pleasant Siem Reap City. Provide relevant suggestions for transportation, such as bicycle rentals and familiarity with local buses. Discover the historical abundance of Eastern Europe. Begin in Poland, especially the cities of Krakow and Warsaw, with their rich historical aspects as well as flourishing art scene available at a reasonable cost of living. The first assumption will concern the cost-effective methods for getting involved in local knowledge, which are represented by free walking tours and small food locations. Move to Romania, unveiling the splendor of Transylvanian castles and Bucharest's peculiarities. Focus on the quality of Bulgaria's beach resorts and beautiful yet not so touristy hinterland, accentuating their great ratio in terms of value for money. Good accommodation, decent food, activities. Discover the tropical enchantment of Central America. Begin in Guatemala to highlight the vibrant Mayan culture, incredible landscapes such as Lake Atitlan, and the classic charm of Antigua. Talk about cheap adventure activities such as hiking up a volcano or even the ruins of ancient Mayan civilization. Relocate in Nicaragua and focus on colonial towns such as Granada, surf communities like San Juan del Sur, the special island with volcanic activities of Ometepe. Provide advice on riding local chicken buses for a genuine and inexpensive form of transportation. Guide viewers through a sensorial tour of the Indian subcontinent. Start with India, a case study of diversity from the Himalayan north to tropical south. Concentrate on budget experiences such as renting a canoe to explore the backwaters of Kerala, enjoying street food in Mumbai, and feeling the spiritual atmosphere at Varanasi. Scene shifts to Sri Lanka, its shores awash with beautiful beaches as wildlife safaris and tea plantations in 1 minute. In summary, end with Nepal, emphasizing trekking in the Himalayas and sightseeing at cultural sites around Kathmandu that one can do on a limited budget. Discover the cost-effectiveness and attractiveness of Balkan. Begin with Albania, display the country's pristine beaches, important historical landmarks, and exciting streets of Tirana. Include the amazing coast of Montenegro from Adriatic and all great skill National Reserve outdoors. First, Sarajevo and Mostar show how rich Bosnia and Herzegovina is in terms of history. Provide information on the best local means of transport and some cheap accommodations that are also commendable. Travel through the picturesque countryside of North Africa. Start with Morocco, where you will check the lively souks of Marrakech, Blue City, Serenity, in Chefchaouen, and the huge Sahara Desert. Talk about doing things cheaply, budget laws, bargains, and cheaper tour operators. Relocation to Tunisia, emphasizing on its Mediterranean coastline, the ancient ruins and compound of Arab with Berber cultures. In conclusion, let Egypt be the destination of interest with consideration that journey along to Giza's pyramids back streets in Cairo and through historical pearls as you follow River Nile should all come within budget. Discover the dynamic cities of Eastern Asia. Begin in Seoul, South Korea, featuring fusion of its modernity and heritage. Affordable street meals as well, freedom to enjoy various cultural experiences free like few historical palaces visits including urban park trekking. Relocate to Taipei in Taiwan and accentuate on the night markets, hot springs, as well as cost-effective public travel. Wrap up with Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia instead. Highlight the breathtaking skyline of this significant city and its varied cultural districts along budget-friendly attractions like Batu Caves or local food tours. Explore some of the adventure's budgeted spots in South America. Start with Bolivia, highlighting the alien-like landscapes of Salar de Uyuni, cultural diversity in La Paz and low prices for foodstuffs on local markets. Peru, focusing on affordable activities through trekking the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu. Jungle adventures in Amazon rainforest and life within Lima City. Provide guidance on how to connect with a local public transport network and book cheap accommodation options, allowing reflection of an authentic life. Find the other face of Southern Europe that doesn't cost a fortune. Begin with Greece, featuring the ancient ruins in Athens upon which one can feast his eyes on, and continue to see islands such as Naxos or budget appeal of Crete accompanied by recommendations how get a taste for Greek cuisine without breaking bank. Travel to Portugal, highlighting its beautiful beach coastlines along with some of the historical cities like Lisbon and Porto where people can buy cheap wine or seafood. End with Croatia, the sparkling Dalmatian coast in particular, and Dubrovnik's historical city center. Advise on how to avoid popular muddy water beaches if being on a budget. Make a detailed manual for people who want to travel with less money. Address means and time of booking. Use fair comparison sites. Immerse yourself into the sphere of budget varieties such as hostels and guest houses, then discover platforms like Airbnb or Couchsurfing. And tell how to portion out meals and pay less but still have a genuine time. List out activities that are free or cost very little in different locations, including hiking options, visiting museums with no entrance fee, and traveling within the local markets. Give tips on how to handle funds while being away. Travel credit cards and steer clear of worldwide dealings costs. Give a detailed insight on the effective strategies to prevent falling victim of common tourists' traps which result in excessive spending. The significance of conducting full research before embarking on a journey. Awareness about the costs in an area and common popular scams that do take place. Provide the personal narratives from seasoned tourists detailing their interactions with tourist traps and how they handled such situations. Provide advice in which cases it is worth spending a lot of money and where cheaper analogs can be found. Outline the benefits of off-season travel in terms of cost and crowds. Consider the intersection of budget travel and sustainability. Emphasize points on how the budget of such travel coincides with eco-friendly options because people spend less money using public transport, biking, or even walking. Talk about the significance of ensuring local economies through residence in homes owned by inhabitants and acquisition from native craftsmen as well as farmers. Give ideas of how to reduce waste, such as walking with a non-disposable water bottle and not using plastics that can only be used once while traveling. Provide some examples of sustainable travel projects and how they can be involved with budget travelers. Discover cheap travel around Australia and New Zealand, countries known to be relatively costly. In Australia, emphasis on costless nature's marvels such as the Gold Coast beaches, national parks, hiking trails, and city tours like those of Melbourne and Sydney. Provide some insights on cheap backpacker hostels, concept of camp and cook. When it comes to New Zealand, emphasize scenic country, which includes the possibility of budget camping, as well as hiking through Fiordland and the Coromandel Peninsula. Consider a working holiday visa as an opportunity for long-term visits and travel at low cost. Explore aspects of Middle East that are pocket-friendly. Focus on countries such as Jordan, boasting of its impressive ancient city Petra, but also the thrill of floating in Dead Sea. Consider low-cost places to stay and the budget but tasty local food. In destinations like Oman, emphasis would be placed on the pristine natural beauty landscapes from desert dunes to scenic coastal areas and cultural element of staying in community guest houses. Discover the many and cheap avenues to go on vacation in Africa. Begin with East Africa. Emphasis should be given on the budget safari phenomena in countries such as Kenya and Tanzania. Options for joining group travel tours in order to reduce operation costs and the ways of finding economic hotels should be provided. Relocate to Southern Africa, especially South African and Namibian countries. emphasize the cost-effective nature-based recreational opportunities such as a hike in Drakensberg or sand dunes exploration of Namib Desert, and familiar experiences with street foods at hot markets. Present audiences with unfamiliar, inexpensive locations that adventurous tourists can visit. Concentrate on tourist groundwork in countries like Georgia, full of the breathtaking Caucasus Mountains, and a lively capital city such as Tbilisi that offers an attractive, low-cost lifestyle. Talk about traveling cheap in some regions of Eastern Europe. Belarus and Ukraine, sharing the great historical background, culture relevance, as well as natural beauty. Discuss of how less-known places sometimes offer more genuine experience and are cheaper to explore as well. End the episode by repeating that indeed, there are numerous budget travel aspirations abound in the world for one to get and fulfill. Inspire your audience to view cheap traveling as not a restriction, but an opportunity that unlocks the door of many options. Summarize the locations and advice shown in this episode. Encourage viewers to leave comments or say what their favorite bits were. Also ask them about Lansino stories. In conclusion, remind your viewers to subscribe on Travel Guide Official for more tips, guides, and inspiration, while reminding them that it's possible even whether one is low in a budget.